All right, so today I'm joined by Marcus, the Maniac McGhee, coming off a second round standing TKO over Gaston Bolanos at UFC Vegas 84. What's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to have you on, and I'm excited to talk about this fight because that's three crazy performances in a row for you. So, you feeling that swagger now coming off your third finish in a row?
I'm not getting too big for my bridges just yet. I'm definitely appreciative of being able to put the work in that I put in, but man, I feel like there's still so much more to do and so much more growth. I'm not gonna get too swaggy yet.
Okay, gotcha. Well, just talking about the fight a little bit. How were you feeling on the day of it? Like, because I think you said you're off to a little bit of a slow start, which I didn't see personally. But were you feeling good going in there and all that?
Yeah, I was feeling confident. I felt really good going in there. And honestly, I said I was going. I started off slow just because I felt like in my mind that the fight was gonna start faster. But going back and looking at it, no, I think I definitely think that it was right pace. It wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow. It was everything was like it was supposed to be.
Right. And you kind of like clipped him right early on in the fight. Were you expecting to kind of hurt him that early, or what was like your expectations kind of going into it?
I knew that if I could touch him, that he would feel it. I just feel like I do have that power, that fight changing power. Especially in certain shots that I throw. There's certain shots that I throw that are really hard. So yeah, especially once I felt my knuckles touch a couple of the first times, I was like, yeah, all right. I just got to keep on doing what I'm doing, not overexert myself, be calm, be present, and I'll find the finish.
Yeah. And I mean, you found it in the second round. But let's go back just a little bit because I want to talk about training camp too and kind of how the fight came about. Because the last time we spoke, you were talking about, I was like, you want to get that fight rebooked because you guys were booked before your JP Buys fight. He pulled out because of an injury and you fought JP Buys, won that one by first round knockout. But what were you kind of thinking about when the name came across your table the second time around? Because you told me you weren't really down to fight him again. Like you were a little iffy about it. What are you looking for next as far as timing and maybe opponent?
I'm not against Bolaños, but my coach even said, he was like, hey, if that was the guy we were supposed to fight after our second fight, why are we going to do favors and go fight him again right now? He pulled out of the fight, let him go do his work, and then maybe if he goes out there and does some work too, we'll jump in with him. But I mean, again, I'm not against fighting him, like I was excited. When they gave me his name, I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Like, that
Yeah,
sounds like
that'd
a
be a
lot of
sick one.
fun. So, but at the same time, being smart about it, like that'd be going backwards, going to try to fight him,
Right.
and I'm trying to go forward. So, no offense to him or anything, but as far as the way it looks, I'm trying to move forward, and that'd be going backwards. So, if the UFC really wants that one, I'm more than willing to take it. But yeah, I'm trying to move forward. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't down to fight him again. I just felt like it was going backwards, right? Like it was, I know he's a big name and all those things, but I felt like, okay, we already scheduled the fight. He pulled out of that fight. I was 2 fights in the UFC. He was 1 fight in the UFC that I needed to move forward. But I was still excited for the challenge. There was no doubt in my mind that I wanted that challenge, especially him being as big of a name guy as he is and, coming from 145 pounds. So that wasn't the part that was bothersome to me. It was just the point that, like, we're trying to progress, trying to look for somebody that's trying to jump up slowly but surely. But, I was looking forward to fighting somebody who was above me, not going backwards to fight somebody who was below me. Not that he's below me, but like rankings wise, they had him a little lower than me. And then after I performed that second time, I was like, man, maybe we'll keep moving forward. And then again, he moves forward and we'll rematch that fight up again then. But it didn't play out that way. It ended up playing out. Us getting back after it right away, which again was cool with me. It didn't bother me at all. I think we were just trying to think strategically how it was supposed to look at the beginning.
Yeah. So you didn't struggle with any type of like motivation getting ready for it or anything. You're up for the fight from the second they gave it to you, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't take much to motivate me.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I'm already motivated. We're definitely trying to be smart. We're trying to be smart about our career and make good decisions. And he's a tough fight. It's not that I believe in myself and I believe that I can make things happen like that. But I didn't necessarily think that it was going to go down like it went down. And he's a tough fight. So again, I think that was in our mind, thinking like, okay, like set ourselves up correctly to keep moving up and keep on inching our way toward the top.
But no, motivation for me is not an issue ever. I can fight an ant and still be motivated to train and to do the work that it needs because it's not about him. You know, it wasn't about Gaston. And honestly, even after him, it's not about him. It's about me. You know, it's about me growing as a fighter, you know, my skill set growing. So that's what I was thinking. That's how I try to keep my mind state.
All right, so just to break down the fight a little bit more, you got off to a hot start, in my opinion. Were you tired at all going into the second round? Did you blow your load at all trying to like finish him? Just almost break down the second round for me after you kind of like rocked him, or the first round. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I felt like it was just getting started. You know, I really did. I felt like I was just getting started. And that's why I took my time too. You know, I'm like, why blow my load? And honestly, I don't think I'm just gonna blow my load easy. You know, we train hard for these moments. You know, I train hard to be able to push myself in those moments to be able to perform the way I've been performing. You know, so I trusted myself. And going into the second round, that's what I told myself. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna trust myself. You know, I'm not gonna be overly attached to anything. Like, yes, I want to get this finish, but I'm not gonna be over attached to getting the finish. I'm just gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. Every moment that I can get work done, I'll get work done. Every moment that I can't, I'll accept it, and I'll look for openings to get work done, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. So once you kind of rocked him in a sense, you didn't get tired at all after that? You kind of like maintained your composure that way? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's basically, I just maintained my composure. I knew he was hurt, you know? I knew that he was feeling it, you know? But again, at any point, he trains hard too, and he can come back from that as well, you know? A lot of times you see these guys rush in for the kill, and sometimes it's unnecessary, you know? It's like, okay, take your time, like trust yourself, trust your skill set. And as far as fatigue, I didn't feel any fatigue at all, you know? Mostly just wanted to make sure that I was making smart decisions.
Gotcha. And then so he came out for you in that second round, bro. I don't know if you picked up on it, but I was watching and I'm like, oh shit, Gaston is like, he's trying to kill this guy now. He was like ready for a war with you, bro. And you still got that finish, which is sick. So can you almost break down that second round a little bit, like getting that spinning kick and all that?
Yeah, you know, I kind of came out that same mentality in the second. You know, I was like, all right, man, like we're gonna start put the metal to the pedal on this one. You know, I wanted to start landing shots right away. I wanted to get busy right away. I just felt like we didn't fight as much like I planned to in the first round, and I felt like it was a good filling out series. And we got landed some shots and did some stuff. But I was like, man, let's turn it up in this second round. And we put training in and we worked hard for this. I don't want to leave any stone unturned in this cage. So. I did feel his energy, but I felt like I was reciprocating that energy, you know? So we both looked across the cage and were like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and that's what makes the best fights is when you guys both kind of like match that same energy. Like I think what was it? The Pereira Prohaska where they're matching each other's energy before the fight, just facing off. It's always good because you know sometimes you can almost feel another fighter's vibe and you feel like he's coming on to you and then that kind of like breaks you a little bit. But it's just cool that you were able to like maintain that. You guys both were like two lions going after each other, and it was like kill or be killed, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the mind state.
Yeah. Do you also Gaston's like a very well-rounded Muay Thai fighter and kickboxer, so he's got that like what would you call it? That tool set kind of like on lock. But you also train with Suga. I don't know if you sparred with him for this camp or anything. How are you viewing just the fact that he is a very skilled striker in his own right?
You know, I've known Gaston for a long time. I've watched him spar. I've watched him fight for a long time. I've had respect for him for a long time, you know. But I have been here training in that same. I've been busting my butt too, and I have faith in my striking as well. And I know that these guys are coming from very high-level backgrounds and all those different types of things, and I respect those things. But I trust in myself. I trust my skill set. I trust my coaches. And I kept telling a lot of people like, hey, I think I'm going to get it done in the stand-up department. I really do believe that, you know, I believe that, and it showed, you know. As far as sparring with Sugar, no, I didn't spar with Sugar at all during this camp. I know he's getting his camp going soon, so I might be getting some sparring with him for his camp. But no, I didn't spar with him at all for this camp. I sparred with Bobby Smurder from Canada, sparred with Abdul Kamara, Ezra Elliott, Beche, Coyote, a bunch of other guys at the lab that I sparred with. Kyler Phillips too, he helped me out. But yeah, no, not Sugar.